There we go. Hi, David. Okay. All right. Welcome to today's Yap session with John Remod here. I'm going to be going over some pretty hectic stuff, to be honest. What's going on? We're getting threatened now by Steve Bannon. And who is Steve Bannon? To be honest, the first thing I heard about Steve... The first ever thing I learned about Steve Bannon is when he did the Sig Heil that one time. He was trying to ride on Elon Musk's wave of mediocrity. But yeah. Also, how did Obama deal with immigration? We're going to compare, okay? And we're going to be looking at where to watch Turning Point's halftime show. To be honest, I've been looking into some websites on how to bet on, the views it's going to get, if it'll even get past 1 million. That's going to be pretty interesting. So we're going to be looking into that. And I did not know this, but check this out. Now, this is an old post from 2018 by Jill Ement. ACLU alleges federal agents abused immigrant minors during Obama administration. So it's not something that not a lot of people know, that during Obama's administration, the way that administration handled the detaining everybody and going after illegals, while not T for T similar to what's going on right now, they also, handled it in a pretty not so careful way, I guess you could say. Anyways, what I'm getting at is during Obama's administration, illegals were also getting treated poorly. Okay? So, because I want to go over this because, in comment sections, or you'll be talking to someone in person and they'll bring up the past administration and Obama's administration. Why? Well, because Obama has the record for most deportations under a president. And honestly, props to him, right? Who doesn't like a good deportation? Just kidding. That's not funny. Do you think Jesus Christ has a good sense of humor? Do you think if he did, would he be one of those cringy comedians, not comedians, but wannabe comedians during a conversation that thinks they're funny and everybody's super nervous, so because he's our Lord and Savior, right? So they just kind of laugh, but that fake laugh, that nervous fake laugh? Or would he be insanely hilarious because he's all knowing, I guess you could say? And I also wonder if he would go on Kill Tony and actually kill. Anyways, first off, who the heck is Steve Bannon? Again, I had just seen that one video of him doing the Sig Heil. To be honest, I had seen him around in posts, I guess, but I never knew who this guy was. Steve Bannon, born... Holy crap! Who the heck is born in 1953? How is bro alive right now? Why does that sound insane? I was born in 1997, and that sounds crazy. 1953. So that's 44 years. I'm 28. 40, 72, 71, 72, somewhere there. He's 70 some. That's pretty crazy. Hey, he looks pretty good for his age, to be honest. I wouldn't have guessed he was 72. I would have guessed 68. Anyways, is an American media executive, political strategist. What does that even mean? I don't know. I guess he's good at telling people, hey, lie. Just kidding. And former investment banker who served as the White House Chief Strategist during the first 7 months of Donald Trump's presidency. Why only 7 months? A key figure in the MAGA movement and far-right politics. Bannon is known for his America First nationalist ideology. I don't know, man. If you support what this administration is doing, it doesn't seem very America First. We're still funding Israel. We're still funding Ukraine. We're sending billions of dollars overseas. We're over here, like, bailing Argentina's president out. We're spending billions in funding for ICE to murder people. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem very America First to me, but okay. Nationalist ideology. Ain't that some ironic shit? Anti-establishment views. Never mind, I spoke too soon. That's very ironic. And his role in shaping populist political strategy. Here are the key details about Steve Bannon. Yada, yada, yada. So, that's a good gist of who Steve Bannon is. I guess you get the essence. And we're going to be looking at this. I saw a clip. Honestly, kind of scary. And what this means, come midterms, okay?
You're damn right. We're going to have ICE surround the polls come November. We're not going to sit here and allow you to steal the country again. And you can whine and cry and throw your toys out of the pram all you want, but we will never again allow an election to be stolen. You're damn right. We're going to have ICE surround the polls come.
Okay. So what does that mean? To be honest, listen, in hindsight, is it a good idea to have some, guards just making sure everything goes smoothly? No, I'm kidding. To be honest, it seems like a good idea if what's happening right now, the way ICE is, dealing with immigration, wasn't happening, right? Just because of the whole, there's illegal voting. The Democrats are using illegals to get people in office, and it's like that's pretty retarded, right? But that's why I think it'd be a good idea to just ease any tensions and ease any excuses in case they lose. But that would be pretty naive to think, because we know that they are starting to freak out, right? Because of the Epstein files. That's the main reason. Nobody's letting it go. A lot of people on MAGA are giving up. They're like throwing in the towel. I showed it yesterday with the QAnon shaman. That one surprised me a lot because he's a January 6er who got pardoned by Trump, the QAnon shaman. And that guy gave up on Trump. That told me everything I needed to know about how MAGA is doing. Online, don't be fooled, you will see a bunch of bots or real people still writing for MAGA, for Trump, still believing in what he wrote on during his presidential run. But don't be fooled. A lot of it is just bots, okay? People. I myself can go to someone, find someone on Reddit or Discord and be like, "Hey, I need to buy some bots." For as followers, for engagement in my content, and someone will be like, yeah, it's like $1 per bot or $2 per bot. To be honest, I don't even know how much they sell it for. I wish I did, because then I do it right away. No, I'm just kidding. And that's how they gain not only engagement for the type of propaganda they're spitting out there, they also garner this certain type of tone in social media, that there's still a lot of support for Trump. There's still a lot of support for how ICE is handling everything. But don't be fooled. That's not the case, because in real life, that's not how things work. In real life, people do look at the fact that this administration is still defending not fully releasing the files transparent right? As opposed to what the FBI director Kash Patel is claiming they did. Apparently now they're done releasing any more contents of the files, so that's pretty insane. And people will not look at that and be like, you know what? I still believe in him. You know, they're doing it for a reason. They're doing it for a good reason. No, in reality, people are gonna look at that as a breaking point, as a limit to the amount of things they'll excuse. You know, hence why someone like the QAnon shaman gave up on Trump, and that makes sense because you go online and you see a lot of people still writing for him, and they're either uninformed, they're either willfully ignorant, or they're just straight up bots. Because no one in their sane mind would still look at the fact that he lied about everything. He lied about the most important thing that I look at when opposing what this administration is writing on are the tariffs. That's kind of my main thing because all I care about is money. No, I'm kidding. But that was the most egregious lie, is that they told their supporters, even though everybody else was well aware that tariffs are inflammatory, right? Are like they were just gonna cause like a downfall in the economy, because again, this is how tariffs work. Okay, you got subject 1 and subject 2. Subject 1 has this thing that he sells overseas. Subject 2 needs that thing to make his product to sell to his people in his country, right? Subject 1 sells it for a price, and I'm the government. I come in and be like, hey, I'm gonna put a specific tax on that product that you're selling to my country, just because I need more money to fund more wars or whatever. And subject 1 is like, okay, fine, but I'm gonna have to raise my price to this guy, subject 2. And subject 2 comes along and he's like, hey, I'm gonna buy that stuff. And he's like, okay, well, I raised the price. And he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to raise the price. And guess who foots the bill when that happens? The consumer. The consumer is, I guess, subject 3. Okay? The consumer is who foots the bill. But Trump wrote on it was gonna boom the economy, right? It was gonna help everybody. It was gonna entice, companies to make everything in America. It was gonna incentivize people to believe in the pretty much what do you call it when you like assemble things, whatever. It was just gonna incentivize uh more business here in America, more capitalism here, like made it in home. That was not true. It didn't even make any sense when they were writing on that. But a lot of people bought it. A lot of people thought, yeah, well, this is gonna pay for the national debt, or this is gonna help because now we're gonna make everything here and people will buy here instead of relying on China. First of all, we are trillions in debt with China. That we can't escape that. There's no way we would be able to pay that debt back. And not only to China, by the way. If we made everything here and we ourselves kind of like what is it called?
November.
Like if we tried taking care of ourselves, it just would not work because we don't provide even for the countries a lot of resources. We ourselves don't have a lot of resources to go around. So that, to be honest, that wouldn't make any sense. Anyways, that being said, support online. Just don't believe everything you see online in comment sections. I mean, in some content that you watch, because also another thing is a lot of content creators on the right and on the left. Especially, I don't know on which side, but they both do it, right? But they buy bots, for engagement. Okay, so don't freak out because you'll see some stuff, some content online, some commenters is still writing for this administration. A lot of it's not real. This isn't me writing for the Dems or the left. Both sides are insane. We need a third option. Anyways. But, yeah. This is pretty scary.
We're
gonna watch it again.
Not going to sit here and allow you to steal the country again.
That is a reference to 2020, right? When everybody thought that the Democrats rigged the election somehow. One of their go-tos was illegal immigration, that they used illegals to garner votes for the Democrats. illegals can't vote. And we're going to look this up. Can legal immigrants vote in U.S. elections? Where's... Oh, come on. Oh, my bad. It is illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal or state elections in the U.S. So, and there is no evidence that unauthorized immigrants or green card holders do vote. So not only is there no evidence, they just legally cannot, right? That's like a thing. And maybe they're aware of that, conservatives. But they still use those same talking points just to pretty much fearmonger. It all just adds more fire, more diesel to the flames of division. That's a pretty good title. I'm not gonna forget that. I'm gonna write that down. Let me write that down. I'm generally gonna write that down. That was pretty good. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Diesel in the flames of division. That was pretty good. Sounds poetic. Anyways. So yeah, illegals can't vote, okay? That's just a fearmonger talking point that conservatives like to use just to get Republican voters and conservatives alike to, garner more hatred pretty much for immigrants in general. Okay? Okay, I keep saying okay. But yeah, so that's
you're damn right. We're gonna have ICE.
Wait, how's my mic? Desktop. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good.
Steve Bannon is...
Nope, I don't want to watch that. Trump plan to ICE agents. There we go.
You're damn right. We're gonna...
I'll watch that. We'll see. I don't know who this guy is, but since we're stealing content, just kidding, we're not. We're doing commentary on it, so it's fair. It's fair use. Okay, I'm doing commenting. I don't even want to watch it anymore because I said stealing content. I'm not stealing content. I'm doing commenting, so I'm transforming the content. And also, oh man, they switched the freaking... Okay, whatever. It's all good. We don't... Let's see, let me look for one. Whoa, what is this? Obama arrested? Trump orders shocking move? Whoa, what the heck is this? What's going on?
And I would just... In 2020, following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling.
Like this, like stuff like this. These are not real people, okay? Oh, Jesus, she's put on weight since this video. Lion must be fat. That's pretty mean. They're pretty good-looking women, to be honest, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with it.
We found irrefutable
Are they bad people? That's, individual opinion.
Evidence of Russian meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos.
Well, hold on a second. What does this even mean? Because there are Russian assets, content creators, that spew propaganda about the right. I mean, about the left and how evil the left and the Democrats are. Like, this is a fact. Russia has content creators that they use as assets for their own agenda. This is like an actual thing. This is like an actual fact. So the fact that they're even bringing this up, it doesn't make any sense. Is it because of the emails? Because of Hillary Clinton? Why is that relevant right now? Hold on.
But what's the outrage in this that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians.
Well, hold on. I mean, yes, he did. What? There's emails, lady.
that the president's son was holding secret meetings with the Russians. All of these lies that were never true. And he also said at that time, we discovered deeply troubling actions taken by the FBI under Comey, particularly their acceptance and willingness to rely on the Steele dossier without verifying its methodology or sourcing. The Steele dossier that many outlets in this room ran as the gospel truth, and it was cooked up and paid for by the Clinton campaign.
That is the most coherent sentence I've heard her say, even though it's all lies.
As for your second question, Caitlin, I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was
And he pretty much told her, you're making stuff up.
talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the director
No, that's what he said. He said
of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working.
The reason is because it comes in okay, I don't even want to watch this crap right now. I cannot stand this woman. Okay. Right, anyways. Steve Bannon, stay topic. You know what? Screw it.
You're damn right. We're going to have ICE surround the polls come November. We're not.
And this is all just because they are losing voters, okay? As of right now, months before midterms, they're losing voters, okay? Everybody's realizing, okay, this is just like the Democrats. They're not doing anything that they say they were going to do. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing out of this world. Obviously, everybody knew. A lot of people had hopes that maybe Trump was going to actually deliver. In 2016, he came into office and he inherited Obama's economy, okay? Obama's economy took everybody out of a recession in 2007, 2008. It was going to boom, and then Trump came in, and then, he started making deals left and right, and then everything went to shit. And then Biden came in, and we all know Biden didn't actually do anything. He was asleep for most of his presidency. But that administration had to deal with COVID, and so, it was a mess. And, a lot of people had hope that maybe Trump, although a POS, he was going to deliver. Shit, even I was rooting for him. Even though, I have all the context on the type of person that Trump actually is. I thought, okay, we're in this boat together, right? Let's do this. And then, surely enough, we were all proven just completely wrong.
Not going to sit here and allow you to steal the country.
Right. So I go back to my point about 2020. Everybody on the right that was pretty pissed about Trump losing. Well, they thought that there's no way the Democrats won, and that's why the insurrection happened and all that good stuff, right? And that's why they are now scared of what midterm voting is going to look like. And so they are going to start scaring people. And they're going to use the excuse of, hey, there's illegal voting and the Democrats... Crap! Hold on, let me go cheat real quick. And the Democrats use illegals to vote, right? To get their candidates elected. Even though that's not true, there's no basis on that, then it is literally illegal, and there's no actual proof that Democrats use illegals for voting. Anyways, they are going to use that, right? They're going to use that excuse to have ICE guarding midterms. but only because as we see now that there is policy. This is a fact. This isn't made up. There is policy that ICE agents, Border Patrol, they can racially profile people. I mean, I've shown some examples of ICE quite literally going up to homeowners in their home and asking them where are they from, and to identify themselves, provide some form of ID because of their accent. Just based on their accent. That's where we're at right now, right? So anyways, they're gonna use that, and Steve Bannon just pretty much said it. He said that they're gonna do that. But why? Well, because they are gonna stop people from voting. I mean, they are. We see now that they can't just they see now that they're detaining people based on their skin color, based on what they sound like. They're gonna do it in midterms, okay? Because they're gonna try to avoid the Democrats getting the votes that they need to get the House back. Listen, to the Republicans and conservatives out there, and somehow you stumbled onto this live, it's not gonna be the worst thing for y'all to give up on Trump, okay? Because you're still gonna get J.D. Vance. Say the Democrats do succeed in getting Trump out of office, you know, because that's what they're gonna go for, right? Who knows if they even succeed, but that's what the Democrats are gonna go for. They're gonna go for impeachment right away. Okay, guys. All right. Yeah. No, just getting up on me like that. Here, that's what you get. Anyways, who knows if they'll succeed? They have a pretty good shot. Yo! Damn! Let me lock in real quick. Let me lock in. Okay, bro. Okay. Okay. Get out of my face. Ooh, son. Ooh, son. Ooh. Ooh. They made these soldiers pretty aggressive. Okay, anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. I forget everything. I was saying something about some BS about... Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay. Alright. Anyways. I don't know. I was yapping about something. Let's just watch this.
Again.
There's an absolutely organized effort right now underway.
Right. That's what I was saying. They're going to pretty much stop certain people from voting. Whoever they think is going to vote Democrat, they're going to be like, hey. Let's see some ID, buddy. That's pretty much what's going to happen, okay? Let's be real. Let's be transparent. Let's be honest. They're going to do that. There's no other reason why they would want to have ICE, specifically ICE also, at in midterms, okay? Why? Why not have regular cops? Why not have even the National Guard? Shit, whatever. Why ICE? Well, because they're gonna have that excuse. Hey, we're just doing our job, bro. Like, that guy looks illegal to me. That's what's gonna happen, okay?
To interfere in the 2026 midterms and the 2028 general elections. And when I say interfere, it's a failure on my part, not really getting it done. It's not interfere. It's to rig an election. It is.
Let's call a spade a spade. That's what they're planning on. They're that desperate. And listen, if the Republicans keep the House, it's curtains. It's curtains. Okay? That's it. We're cooked. There's not going to be a 2028 election. Okay? So just give up on Trump. You're still going to have J.D. Vance. It's going to be majority Democrats, sure, and they're going to go after Pam Bondi. They're going to go after everybody, but you're still going to have J.D. Vance. Honestly, that's a pretty good compromise, in my opinion.
To, outside of the law absolutely violating the Constitution, violating U.S. code, put troops in, like Steve Bannon just promised yesterday, that we will have ICE agents.
Also, pretty crazy that Steve Bannon doesn't play an active role in the White House as of right now. He was a former strategist, but is now making it seem like he can also call some shots? What's going on here? Crap.
We will have immigration and customs enforcement agents surround the polling stations to intimidate voters. He wants, and Donald Trump will make this happen, mark my words, unless Democrats step in. But they want this untrained, functionally illiterate force of idiots, these trigger-happy idiots who are loyal to only Donald Trump. They're not loyal to their oath to the Constitution or the contents therein. They have no concern about that. They are here to terrorize communities in service to Donald Trump. These criminals, these untrained idiots. And it is illegal for them to be there. It is illegal for any armed federal force to be there interfering in elections or even be present. One, it's not up to the federal government to run elections. It is unconstitutional for that to take place. Article 1, Section 4 of the United States Constitution, a document all of the people that you're going to witness today. I have a clip of Steve Bannon, Donald Trump, and Mike Johnson. All of them have, at one time or another, sworn oath to the Constitution. And part of that Constitution says,
and then they kissed the wall. That's a fact.
Again, Article 1, Section 4, the times, place, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. If they want to change it, though, but the Congress may at any time, by law, make or alter such regulations, except as to the places of choosing the senators, and that has been changed since. We have amended the Constitution. It used to be that the state legislatures chose who was going to be the senators for their states. That's not the way we do it anymore. Now it's elected by the people. But it's not just the Constitution. We have laws in place in the criminal code against federalizing, against federal troops, armed agents from being there. I'm going to say these. I'm going to read one and then show you the other on screen. Before I play the Bannon clip, because I want you to know exactly just how illegal this is. I know I'm hearing YouTube videos being clicked off all over the world right now because this isn't sexy. This isn't, what do you mean you're just going to show us U.S. code? That's boring. You need to know this information. It's critical for you to know this information.
Very great commentary, am I right?
So you can be armed in conversation with your idiot MAGA family who doesn't have any regard for such things or for information that much. 18 U.S. Code, Section 592, troops at the polls. Whoever, being an officer of the Army or Navy or other person in the civil, military, or naval service of the United States, orders, brings, keeps, or has under his authority or control any troops or armed men at any place where the general or special election is held, unless such force be necessary to repel armed enemies of the United States, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both, and be disqualified from holding any office of honor, profit, or trust under the United States. Very clear. They are not to be there. Armed civil troops, which ICE is, or military, not to be there. And it's not just this article or this item.
Why do I get these freaking teammates, bro? Why did you all choose Wilder? What is wrong with you people? You should know that I'm Wilder.
In U.S. Code, it's also 18 U.S. Code 593. I'm not going to read this entire thing. I'll just leave it on screen long enough for you to pause and get a screenshot and share it with those that you...
I'm at level 2. What the heck was I doing the whole round?
I think need this information. But we're going to go from here to Steve Bannon on his little podcast, America's War Room, or whatever nonsense it is, the War Room, where he is declaring, he is a mouthpiece for Donald Trump, after all, he's thick as thieves with these fascists, he is one himself, that they are going to surround polling places with ICE agents, with immigrations and customs enforcement agents. Let me say this before I play. This is why we need to abolish ICE. You don't reform this. You can't reform an army loyal only to Donald Trump, this execution squad, this urban assault raid goon force. There's no reforming this. You abolish it. Here's Steve Bannon, and remember everything that I've told you up to this point.
Minnesota shows you this. New York City shows you this. If they don't have illegal aliens voting, if they don't have these phony migrants that are here on these phony programs that are at the polls, and you're damn right, we're going to have ICE surround the polls come November. We're not going to sit here and allow you to steal the country again. And you can whine and cry and throw your toys out of the pram all you want, but we will never again allow an election to be stolen. And that's why I'm so proud of what President Trump is doing and people are doing. Caroline Wren, your thoughts on that before I go to Brett?
I think what you said about ICE is very much related to this because, in fact, Senator Mark Warren said in an interview, he said, we don't want ICE agents showing up at the polling stations. That's what this is all about. That's why they're trying to defund ICE. That's why they're trying to,
Nope. It's because of everything else. It's because of how they're handling immigration. And they are literally killing people.
Go after and target ICE.
There was another murder, by the way.
And shut it down. Why would you care if ICE shows up to polling stations? Because
they're gonna keep people from voting. People that they think are gonna vote for the Democrats to gain the House back. That's why.
Illegal aliens are not allowed to vote in this country. Except for the problem is they do. And they do in these, they're not blue states.
Based on nothing, by the way. There's no... Oh my god, we freaking got hammered. Okay, cool.
So I was going to say blue states. Minnesota is a deeply red state that is held hostage by...
Also, how do you say that it's only in blue states, and then you say, well, Minnesota's red, but because of the illegals, they vote Democrat. And then after this, Minnesota is going to stay red. Let's say the Republicans keep the House. Not a lot's going to change right away, right? Everything's going to stay the same. Except, everybody's going to know that all the talking points that these people have been throwing at you, they're not going to make any sense. And then, if the Republicans keep the House, by the way, say goodbye to any hopes of transparency from now on. Say goodbye to any further release of the Epstein files. And again, nobody gives a shit about what's in there. People just, because people know what happened, right? People know what went on in that island. People know the kind of businesses, the kind of business ventures Epstein was part of. People just want to know who went there and what they were doing. That's it. And then they can get served with the hammer of justice. That's what people care about. But these ding-dongs, they want to pretend like people are pretty much okay with how this administration is handling everything. Because on the ruse that, hey, we're doing it for America. This is America first, guys. Even though everything going on is still pretty much like America last. I digress.
Illegals voting, and it...
Yeah, based on absolutely no evidence.
Is the minorities have taken over.
Oh my goodness, she looks kind of... Is she okay? Holy crap, what's with that face?
This is all about. That's why they're trying to defund ICE. That's why they're trying to,
She's looking around. She's like, what else should I come up with?
go after and target ICE and shut it down.
No, No, that wasn't even that wasn't even on the table. Nobody was talking about this. Nobody was saying that was the reason the Democrats are trying to get rid of ICE. No, everybody was saying the Democrats don't like ICE because they want to protect illegals. Nobody brought up the midterms or voting. ICE is hiring random people off the streets. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what kind of background you have. They're not even checking for criminal charges, by the way. Journalist Jadid outed that, okay? It's a fact. At the very least in her case. They're just hiring random schizos. Power-hungry people. Potential neo-Nazis. And wannabe white beans that think they're white. That think these hardcore MAGA actually accepts them. Newsflash, they don't. Okay, buddy? Okay, brown buddy?
Down. Why would you care if ICE shows up to polling stations?
Because they're going to intimidate people.
Because illegal aliens are not allowed to vote in this country.
No, they're not. And everybody knows that. Except for you guys. No, just kidding. You do know that. But you'll spew that shit on. Because you know people are going to buy it.
Except for the problem is they do. And they do in these, they're not blue states. I was going to say blue states. Minnesota is a deeply red state that is held hostage by illegals voting.
Oh, like, they can't, as they're saying it, they're like, shit, I can barely keep track with what I'm saying, but.
And it is, the minorities have taken over there.
Yo! Okay.
All of this is predicated
I hate that I can't say bad words.
on lies and conspiracy theories. Foreign individuals, people who are not citizens, do not vote in our elections.
The process of becoming a U.S. citizen, even if you are a legal resident, is insane also. It's rigorous. You gotta be an actual patriot to become a U.S. citizen, by the way. And only U.S. citizens can vote. Illegals have no way of voting. They have to register to vote, first of all. It's not like they're letting anybody in.
And if they do, it's a crime and they are held accountable. Nowhere in any election has there ever been numbers of illegal voters the level to which.
And it's so easy to come up with conspiracy theories when you're on the right and you're trying to come up with any excuse as to how Democrats are getting votes. Because you could just blame it on people. When it comes to, for example, the right, when it comes to, the left, the Democrats talking about maybe some potential rigging, it doesn't go to people. It goes to factors. It goes to evident situations. For example, emails. Ooh. For example, I'm not gonna say it, but you get it, right? Like intimidation, no transparency, stuff like that. All right.
Which would impact an election at all. This is a solution in search of a problem. We don't have a problem with our elections. The only problem we have with our elections is the fact that they are endeavoring to taint them, to rig them, to steal, because their agenda for America, their policy prescription for America is so wildly unpopular that they need to cheat to win. And that is exactly what they're trying to do. One, to achieve the rest of Project 2020.
By the way, Trump won in, you know what?
25, but also to ensure that Donald Trump isn't impeached, convicted, and removed and prohibited from holding office again.
Which is, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, like, for sure, but they got a pretty good shot at impeaching Trump if the Democrats gain the House back, the majority.
That's really what they're doing here. It's protection of Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump was asked about this, not the ICE troops thing, but asked about nationalizing our elections, about violating the Constitution of the United States.
And Caroline Levitt was like, no, that's not what he meant. Even though that's quite literally what he said.
States, which holds that the states have the power. I just read Article 1, Section 4. States have the power to administer their own elections. It's not up to the federal government. It's certainly not up to the president who wants to avoid impeachment, so he wants to cheat. Here's Donald Trump.
Mr. President, what exactly did you mean when you said that you should nationalize elections, and which 15 states are you talking about?
I want to see elections be honest, and if a state can't...
That's not what that... That would be the opposite, Mr. President.
...run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it. Because, if you think about it, a state is an agent for the federal government in elections. I don't know why the federal government doesn't do them anyway. But when you see some of these states about how horribly they run their elections, what a disgrace it is, I think the federal government, when you see crooked elections, and we had plenty.
It's either you vote for someone or you don't. You would say that about, the campaigning, but on how they handle elections, that doesn't even make any sense.
Plenty of them. And by the way, we had them last time, but go to 2020 and look at the facts that are coming out. Rigged, crooked elections. If we have areas...
And then he just throws the words in, is what's so fascinating. Look at the facts. This is what happened. Narrator, that is not what happened. Like, there is no factual truth or evidence supporting that.
Take a look at Detroit. Take a look at Pennsylvania. Take a look...
What about Detroit? What about Pennsylvania? Detroit, is it a trash can of a city? Yeah. Yeah, okay. What's that got to do with voting?
Look at Philadelphia. You go take a look at Atlanta. Look at some of the places that horrible corruption on elections. And the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get in.
That's the whole thing with this administration. They are so broad. They don't support, they don't back anything up with like facts. They just kind of they just start yapping and they hope for the best.
Involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
But the Constitution says it should be states that administer elections, Mr. President.
Yeah,
That's what the
you know what?
says.
They can administer the election, but they have to do it honestly.
You don't know why the federal government doesn't do it, Donald Trump? Well, you swore an oath to the Constitution on multiple occasions. You should know it's Article 1, Section 4. It's not, I have an Article 2. I can do whatever I want. It's not in Article 2. Maybe you didn't read it because it's not in Article 2. It's in Article 1, which outlines the power of the Congress, Donald Trump. Now, if we're going to go and talk to somebody in Congress about it, you better find somebody other than Mike Johnson who doesn't even care to actually play the role that he's been hired to play. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, second in line to the president, behind J.D. Vance, he has abdicated his role as the leader of a co-equal branch of government, also agreeing that we should nationalize, we should violate the Constitution and have Donald Trump control all of the elections.
Follow up on elections. The president says that he wants Republicans to nationalize elections. Do you agree with him? And do you have confidence in how elections are conducted right now heading into the midterm?
We have thoughtful debate about our election system every election cycle and sometimes in between. We know it's in our system. The states have been in charge of administering their elections. What you're hearing from the president is his frustration about the lack of some of the blue states, frankly, of enforcing these things and making sure that they are free and fair elections. We need constant improvement on that front. I don't know what the ultimate solution is going to be. I'm not going to get ahead of the negotiations here, but I think that is something that's going to be a continuing theme here. It's something that we'll continue to push, and we hope the governors will insist upon that same thing as well. In some of the states, like in California, for example, I mean, they hold the elections open for weeks after Election Day. That's just one thing that bothers so many people.
Because they're counting the damn votes. They're making sure everything's done properly. What? Whoa.
people. We had 3 House Republican candidates who were ahead on Election Day in the last election cycle. And every time a new tranche of ballots came in, they just magically whittled away until their leads were lost. And no series of ballots that were counted after Election Day were our candidates ahead on any of those counts. It looks on its face to be fraudulent. Can I prove that? No, because it happened so far up.
Can I prove that? No. Oh shit. If this administration wasn't a totally corrupt one, they'd be the funniest one we've gotten so far, to be honest, in my opinion.
Dream, but we need more confidence in the American people in the election system, and it's essential. And everybody, no matter what party you're in, should agree we are free and fair elections. We need constant improvement on that front. I don't know what the ultimate solution is going to be. I'm not going to get ahead of the negotiations here, but I think that is something that's going to be a continuing theme here. It's something that we'll continue to push, and we hope the governors will insist upon that same thing as well. In some of the states, like in California, for example, I mean, they hold the elections open for weeks after Election Day. That's just one thing that bothers so many people. We had 3 House Republican candidates who were ahead on Election Day in the last election cycle. And every time a new tranche of ballots came in, they just magically whittled away until their leads were lost. And no series of ballots that were counted after Election Day were our candidates ahead on any of those counts. It looks on its face to be fraudulent. Can I prove that? No, because it happened so far upstream, but we need more confidence.
Holy shit. Oh my. No, we are so cooked, bro. We are so incredibly cooked. Oh, man.
In the American people in the election system, and it's essential. And everybody, no matter what party you're in, should agree with that. The mass mailing of paper ballots or mail-in ballots and all the other irregularities that have haunted us over the last couple of cycles, we need to tighten that up. Now, the red states have done a lot of good work in that front, but it's the blue states that I'm frankly concerned about. So we'll see how the law is modified and what's changed, but I hope we can get consensus to get that done. Yeah.
Can I prove that? No. Of course you can't prove it because there is no proof. There is no evidence of such. There is no fraud to the levels that any of you idiots think there is. Say there is. I don't believe they believe it is. They want to intimidate voters at the polls. They want to send their execution squads widespread across polling stations across the country. This is one of the reasons why they are ramping up recruitment to have an army within the United States that operates on U.S. soil. Well, it's not the Army because it's only Department of Homeland Security. It's not the Defense Department. We're getting around posse comitatus by this way. Where are all the libertarian types out there? Don't hear them screaming too much. Violating the Constitution, intimidating voters, attempting to sway an election through illegal and unconstitutional means. That's what this is. And we better wake up. We got Chuck Schumer out there on Threads and on Blue Sky talking about we need to reform ICE. No, the fuck we don't. We need to abolish ICE. You don't reform a Nazi organization, Chuck. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. Let's have it in the comments below this video. You can also...
Pretty good video. Jesse Dolmore. Pretty good upload, honestly. Go like and subscribe. Okay. I've been looking into like the whole Turning Point halftime show. And bro... Oh, man. This is my... Listen. I predict that it's going to go well for them. They're going to get a pretty good crowd. Okay? Of people that are going to be tuning in. Right? Not that they're going to go to, but they're obviously going to broadcast, right? But I predict that they are going to make it a yearly thing. That this is either a cash grab of some sorts, or they're gonna genuinely like try to make it a yearly thing. That's 2 of my predictions. This freaking frog. Right, I haven't picked anything.
It looks like the Patriots and Seahawks won't be the only competition during the Super Bowl this Sunday. The group founded by late conservative activist Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, said they plan to put on an alternative event called the All-American Halftime Show. It'll feature Kid Rock, a vocal Trump supporter, and country singers Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. The
Who?
website says it'll celebrate, quote, faith, family, and...
Somebody let me know if those two people are good. Shut up, bro. It's not that good, bro.
freedom. The halftime show's Spanish-speaking headliner, Bad Bunny, has criticized President Trump on everything from his hurricane response in his native Puerto Rico to his treatment of immigrants. On Sunday night, he blasted ICE while accepting an award at the Grammys.
We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans, and we are Americans.
Trump has said he doesn't plan to attend this year's Super Bowl and has said Bad Bunny is a terrible choice. Republican Senator
Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, by the way.
Tommy Tuberville of Alabama called the Super Bowl, quote, the woke bowl on Newsmax last week.
Okay, and
cut off at a shopping center from a gentleman in a 250 Dodge Ram. I had to slam my brakes and my bike went down.
I had a semi-truck back into me.
Distracted driver, wasn't paying attention and decided he wanted to.
This is just happening as we speak. And I read your quote, and I told your team I thought that this was just absolutely amazing. So I'm going to read it. This just went out on the press release that just hit the wire. It says, "We're approaching this show like David and Goliath. Competing with the pro football machine and a global pop superstar is almost impossible. Or is it?" He said he's having a dance party, wearing a dress and singing in Spanish. Cool. We plan to play great songs for folks who love America.
Chilling there all menacingly.
Tell us what you mean by all that.
Man, I spent some time crafting that quote. I'm not sure if I can top it right now. It pretty much
pretty good, man.
It's just like, it's like I said, it's like, you're competing with this, this powerhouse machine called the NFL, and in a certain way you're competing with it, and in a certain way you're not either. I think it's kind of I'm actually drafting an op-ed right now that I think I might release on Wednesday. Kind of how did this come to be? Why did Turning Point have to have an alternative halftime to the NFL? And I think it's, to sum it up quickly, it kind of goes back to what Taylor Sheridan figured out, years back. That half this country.
I thought I could pause it with the space bar. Damn, that guy has it out for Schweebles. Because we're hitting him more than he is. Ooh, okay. Spoke too soon. I cannot. Oh, that's kind of funny.
He's just underserved entertainment-wise, and we just really, so many of us got tired of just, having Hollywood tell us how things are going to be and hearing all their political this and that and trying to, shove their agendas and the trans thing and everything down our throats. And it's like, I guess we're just going to have our own stuff for right now.
I don't know, buddy. You gave up on the whole, I'm not drinking Bud Light because it's gay. Pretty quick. Like, legitimately. It took him, like, a few weeks to go back to Bud Light. Oh, crap.
Well, that's exactly right. And you're going to be joined by Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, Gabby Barrett, and you are going to be the headline here, Kid Rock performing at the All-American Halftime Show. So for those, what was great about this, by the way? So I've been kind of seeing some of the behind the scenes here. And originally we listed all the artists in the press release, and this many Grammy. We just hit the Grammys in hour one, which is ironic. But because they're all anti-ICE or whatever.
That was pretty weak. But no. Where can I watch it? Okay. Where can I watch Turning Point Halftime Show? There we go. Okay, I'm exit out of this. Whatever. Okay, hold on. Let me take care of this guy. Bam, homie. Ooh. Oh crap. Oof. Oof. Yeah. E-bomboclat. Ah, E-bomboclat. Don't move. Crap. I'm just throwing straight bricks. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Oof. Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. Come on! Okay. The turning point? Wait, hold on, hold on. There's some bats thingies. Okay, never mind. Oh, yeah, boy. Nah. Get away from me. The turning point... TPUSA All-American and Halftime Show featuring Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett will stream on X. Of course. Why? Why would I not put 2 and 2 together? That's pretty funny. So that's that. Okay, now for the big dish that I've been wanting to talk about. That I talk about on my own to myself while I'm taking a shower. No. The Obama administration and immigration. But first, I'm gonna focus real quick. Oop. Where am I going? Oh. Ooh. Damn, homie. Ooh, bro. Dog. Crap, I got stuck with like the worst one. Shit. Alright. Anyways, Obama. You know, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. At the very least, that administration knew how to handle, you know. Oh, yeah. Let's fucking go. Hold on. Hold that fucking thought. Come at me, come at me. Ooh. You suck, son. Right back at you, homie. Damn, where am I at? 243, that's pretty good. It's all good. Oh man, I thought the other guy was gonna come back. I thought he had like a connection error thing type, a connection timeout or whatever. Timeout. That's right, son. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. That's it. Okay, I need to beat this boss. I need to lock in. Like the boss for the actual... Ah. Ooh, connection issue. Inflicts blood loss and gains physical attack power after performing a critical hit. Okay, sure, whatever. Not bad, not bad. It's pretty surprising that this sword is compatible with blood loss effect. Yeah, boy. He did not care about me. Right, son. Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Not bad. Damn. Bro, why are you testing my patience, bro? That's right. Yeah, it's all W's up in this bed. Let's double check just to make sure. Crap, dude, my lips have been dry for like months now. Okay, what else? Oof, I waited too long. Come on. Damn! Alright. Got a good shot. Bro. Nice. What happened to the other one? Okay, hold on. I need to go get that thing. That was not a good medallion to go back with. Come on, Buminos. Everybody, let's go. Come on, let's get to it. I know that we can do it. Where are we going? We're gonna go. We're gonna work tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Okay, come on. Get over here. Get Rick, son. Right on your ass crack. Good. Oh, crap.
There is no escape.
Oof. Oh, they're not even looking for me. Yo! This guy has a medallion or something, because none of these They're going after me. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh. Pretty easy. The hard part comes after. Okay, faster auto charging boost causes. Okay, 6% is dog shit, but okay. Where's the worm, bro? Ah, they get rid of it? We can't fight it no more. I didn't know that happened. It's cool. Oh man, I dang. Okay. Not too bad. Here we go. Come on, buddy boy. So anyway. No, not yet. I need to lock in. I should probably shave this mustache. Yeah. Ta-da! Much better. A buddy of mine was making fun of me, so now I'm very self-conscious about it. Okay, let's do this. Let's lock in. E-bomb clut! Can barely get a lick in. Oof. Oof. Dang. Oof. Dang, that's on me. That was on me. I could have avoided that so easily. Damn! Oh, wait a minute. That's right, buddy boy. Ooh. That's right. Damn! Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. It's okay, we still got this. One more! Yeah, boy! Wait. Oh, I lost it. Dog, come on. I don't think it's gonna happen, dog. Now that's it, we're cooked. GG's. Damn it. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know why that other guy left. Okay, as I was saying, the economic and political state of this country. Okay, Obama.
This week, President Obama finally announced his plan.
This has 32 likes. 11 years ago, 208K subscribers.
And to deal with many undocumented immigrants in this country. His Republican opponents are calling it amnesty, and they're saying the president has acted beyond his authority. What exactly?
And you want to know who said that? Take a wild, fat guess.
What does Obama's plan do?
First, the president's plan focuses on families of undocumented immigrants, and he's framed his plan as to
It already sounds familiar, right?
deport felons, not families. Already, anyone who is born in the United States is a citizen, and many undocumented immigrants have children who are U.S. citizens.
Anchor babies.
What's more, a prior executive order protected many immigrants brought here as children from deportation.
But what about the parents? Can they be deported?
That's the main focus of Obama's plan. Of the roughly 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States, a little more than
11 million? Wait a minute. Estimates for the number 14 million. It grew 3 million. Trump was in office 2016 to 2020, by the way. 19. No, 21. Sorry.
and 4 million of them have children who either have green cards or are citizens. The president's new policy would protect them from deportation.
So, can they become citizens or?
So before that, okay, before Obama, how did immigration deal? agencies deal with undocumented immigrants. Before Obama administration, immigration agencies focused on increasing border security, implementing tough on crime policies to speed up deportations, and expanding partnerships with local law enforcement. The enforcement landscape shifted from the Immigration and Naturalization Service to the Department of Homeland Security following 9/11. Culminating, inside job by the way, culminating in the creation of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Wow, so because a certain state that's out of the U.S., you know, that promised land over there, that's why we have ICE. Just saying. Because of that promised land, we have all the issues in the world. Just kidding, joking.
Or not?
No. Let's look at what the plan doesn't do first. It's not a path to citizenship, and those who are eligible are not even guaranteed.
I forgot about the sound. Crap.
Permanent residency.
So what does it do?
It will allow those 4 million to get permits to work legally in the United States, and it will assign them social security numbers.
By the way, these people were still not able to reap the benefits, okay? They would just allow them to work, and they'd still have to pay taxes.
As long as they don't break any laws, and as long as Congress can't put together a meaningful immigration reform plan, they should be safe to stay.
You said there was more about the kids. What's happening there?
Already some of the so-called dreamers, undocumented immigrants brought here as children, were protected by what's called deferred action. And that's about 580,000 people. This plan expands that to anyone born before January 1st, 2010. That's about 270.
What the heck? I thought it was before 2007. Wasn't it?
1,000 more people eligible for these protections.
Who else is affected by this?
Mostly parents and children, but the plan allows immigrants who are brought here by businesses for high-tech jobs to be able to change jobs without having to return to their home countries and start over.
I know. I've got some friends that do that work in Mexico, and they get paid pretty good doing like trading, some trades with like electrical components or some shit like that. Not trades. Like they sell electrical components or something like that. I don't know. They get paid pretty good. That's because of Obama?
Also, at the moment, immigrants can come here to start businesses if they have $1 million up front to invest in those companies. This plan would allow them to do that with investments from the United States.
Republicans have said that we should secure the borders first. Does this plan do anything for border security?
Yes, the plan adds more border security agents.
Ha! Just kidding. That was not a point of contention. I'm boasting.
As well as immigration judges and attorneys to handle deportations. Also, it shifts the focus of immigration enforcement to deport criminals and known national security risks first.
So what happens next?
Ultimately, this is a stopgap measure and an interim step until Congress and the President can agree on a comprehensive immigration reform plan.
How long will that take?
Maybe forever.
That was just pretty much on DACA, wasn't it? I thought it was going to give me like a good rundown of just how Obama did immigration, like in general and stuff, but I guess not. Let me just get this guy real quick.
Will take steps to deal responsibly with the millions of undocumented immigrants who already live in our country. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. And that's why we're going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security. Felons, not families. Criminals, not children. Gang members, not a mom who's working hard to provide for her kids.
You see the damn difference? Not that I'm a fan of Obama, you know, with his whole whistleblower, anti-whistleblower policies. It's like, what were you hiding, bro? No, just kidding. But you see, that's how it's done, properly, lawfully. By the way, it did not fail. It was very successful. To this day, Obama still holds the record for mass deportations. Just saying. Okay, cool. Where am I going? Oh. That, what even was that about? What the heck? There we go. There we go. Damn, I really thought they were going to talk or something. Okay. Family immigration rulings and laws to pass that administration. Okay. The Clinton administration. The 1997 Florida settlement. Whoa! What? No way! 1997 is the year I was born, and Flores. Ooh, right in the noggin. All right. Require that children can only be held in immigration detention for up to 20 days. Okay. Children must be released to their parents. Okay, so it was more children focused. Damn it. President George Bush signed the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act in 2008. The law required unaccompanied minors from non-neighboring countries to be turned over to HTS for resettlement. Non-neighboring countries. Alright, I'm not staying for this. A federal judge expanded the Florida settlement to include children who are caught with their parents in 2015. Okay. This is also slop. To overhaul immigration. Damn it, none of these are covering what I wanted to talk about. But okay. Damn.
Most importantly, we will live up. Most importantly, we will live up to our character as a nation
I need your help. There are thousands of undocumented immigrants.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
Every single day. You have the power to stop deportation for all undocumented
Actually, I don't. And that's why we're here.
I need your help.
Okay.
Stop deportation!
Thank you. All right. What I'd like to do. No, don't worry about it, guys. Okay, let me finish. Let me. How about these guys don't need to go. Let me finish. No. He can stay there. Hold on a second.
I kind of miss bro. Not gonna lie. All right, you know what? I'm gonna end this with trying to get one more boss under my belts. Should I take this guy out? I'm super petty. It's like, don't take my shit, bro. I wasn't even gonna keep it, but whatever. I'm over it. Alright, let's grind some Black Widow. Look at this gooner ass game, dude. Nah, you know what? Let's go one. No. There we go.
ICE is so out of control that its own attorney said the system sucks, this job sucks, and asked to be held in contempt so they could get 24 hours of sleep. Those are exact statements from Homeland Security attorney Julie Lay, who clearly doesn't want to be there. In less than a month, she had 88 cases, which is an insane amount for the types of cases she's handling. And this not only because ICE keeps doing illegal shit, but also because her colleagues are
the irony.
Leaving. The government's facing a real crisis as lawyers continue to quit rather than deal with the feds under Trump. I mean, Lay's own co-counsel quit on the job, leaving her to fill a role that she's not really trained.
Another sody. We gotta win, sha la 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 la, babe. Solo versus squads. Solo versus squads. Yo, what? They got that now? That's kind of nuts. Solo versus squads. Oh man, do I want to know how good I am? No, because I'm in Teletubby lobbies anyways. Okay, let's try it out. Oh, that's right, I died. I lost all my shit, dude. No matter. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Pretty good. Gonna get a Bettina. What else do I want? Dude, don't. Oh, I didn't lose it. I thought I lost it. All right, let's build a rattler. Okay, not bad. And a Bettina. We gotta wham, bam, Babe. Just in case, you know. Okay, I got one. I ain't got one of those. Survivor. Survivor. Medium shield. Medium. Mid. Medium. Mid. Okay. No. I don't want to lose that. Okay. I don't know why, but I like organizing my stuff, even though I know it doesn't matter. Like this one below, above this one below this one, because they charge shields, and the other one's health. Okay. Damn, I didn't keep anything that I had. Okay, whatever, it's all good. Nope, I didn't keep anything. Okay, let's do it. Let's go for it. Solos versus squads. It's kind of scary, bro. It's kind of scary. I got no smoke screen. Okay. What else? Okay, we're good on that. Whatever. Okay, we're good. Damn, I really hope I don't lose all this gear. Alright, let's do it. Ooh, and we're gonna do a night raid. No, we're not. Yeah, let's keep it interesting.
For. And she says that one of the big issues is that ICE and DHS absolutely refuse to listen to court orders. And then the person that gets yelled at by the judge, it's the attorneys. They also saying that it's like pulling teeth to get them to listen, saying it takes 10 emails from me for a release condition to be corrected. And now it appears that she's gotten some of her wishes as she's been taken off cases. Whether that means that she was fired or not, we don't know. But it's another example of ICE and DHS just being a shit show. But then again, the sky's blue.
It's pretty crazy. Another one. Okay. Let's watch some Philly.
Federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
And so, it seems like the guy's making it pretty damn clear that he wants to nationalize at least some elections. A desire that apparently has nothing to do with the SAVE Act, because he also never mentioned it once during that briefing either. But then, even after Trump doubled down and clearly contradicted Levitt, we still saw some Republicans trying to spin those comments to make it sound less, I don't know, like he's fully drunk the authoritarian Kool-Aid. So you had Senate Majority Leader John Thune reiterating the SAVE Act story after Trump's briefing.
Doc, why do I get dropped in like at when half the round's over? Are they still fighting that thing?
With respect to nationalizing elections, I think the president has clarified what he meant by that, and that is that he supports the SAVE Act.
But then also, you had Speaker Johnson just taking a completely different approach, just fully committing to Trump's story about the elections in blue states being rigged or fraudulent. Or Johnson specifically mentioning California and the recent Republican loss there.
I mean, they hold the elections open for weeks after Election Day. That's just one thing that bothers so many people. We had 3 House Republican candidates who were ahead on Election Day in the last election cycle. And every time a new tranche of ballots came in, they just magically whittled away until their leads were lost. It looks on its face to be fraudulent. Can I prove that? No.
So from here, it's just about waiting to see what these next 10 days will bring. But in the
fucking retard, bro. Can I prove that? No. I'm just gonna talk it up my ass. Hey, conservative. You know, conservative content creators, they're just going to clip that one part and roll with it.
Meantime, let me know your thoughts in those comments down below.
What the heck did I do?
Congress is now standing on the edge of a cliff named DHS funding, despite just ending a shutdown. Or because yesterday, Trump signed a $1.2 trillion funding package of 5 spending bills to end the partial government shutdown that started on Saturday. And that after the package was signed by the Senate on Friday and the House cleared it yesterday at a narrow 217 to 214 margin. And that means that most government agencies are funded through the end of the fiscal year in September. But also, there is a big glaring exception: the Department of Homeland Security. This package actually only provided funding to DHS to the end of next week as a compromise to get the rest of the funding passed. But with Democrats still demanding changes in ICE operations, including that agents wear body cams and identify themselves, get warrants for arrests, and adhere to a code of...
Because people also are like, hey, well, they're law enforcement also. Okay, have them wear body cams. Well, they're supposed to be protecting themselves. Okay, bro.
Conduct similar to state and local law enforcement. But there, you're already seeing Republicans pushing back against some of those requests with...
They got a right to privacy.
For example, Speaker Mike Johnson saying that the right isn't going to agree to require judicial warrants for arrest by immigration officers, claiming that administrative warrants are, quote, sufficient legal authority to go and apprehend undocumented immigrants, and adding, if someone is going to be apprehended and they run behind a closed door and lock the door, what is ICE supposed to do at that point? Oh, gee whiz, a locked door? Though you also have some Republicans taking a stronger stance against Democrats generally, right? With Representative Lisa McClain, chair of the House Republican Conference, saying that they had no intention of bending to the Democrats' demands, saying they're like a spoiled child that's not getting what they want and throwing a temper tantrum in the middle of the grocery store. You don't reward them with giving them a candy bar. And so, the partisan gap, it's pretty wide here, and there's only a few days to close it before the February 13th deadline. And if they don't, DHS is going to face a lapse in funding, which includes ICE, Customs and Border Protection, the Secret Service, and the Coast Guard. But with this, you have some having more hope than others, including Representative Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut, who was among the Democrats who voted for the short-term solution, with DeLauro saying, I believe this is an opportunity to isolate DHS and go at it. Hammer and tongs, tooth and nail, whatever phrase you want to use, rather than having to figure out what the heck is going to happen to 5 other bills in all those departments. But also, there are those taking a stronger stance, including Jim McGovern from Massachusetts, who said, I refuse to send another cent to Stephen Miller or Kristi Noem. They are undermining our Constitution, and the department they run is murdering American citizens in the streets. You then also had Representative Pete Aguilar from California saying, we have a list that we want done and we aren't settling for half measures, and adding that if Republicans don't want to come to the table and negotiate real reform, quote, then they're going to have to explain to the American public why they're shutting down agencies. Right? And then, in hearing all this, you're probably not going to be surprised to hear that there are those that are less confident that a solution is going to be found in this short amount of time that Congress has. And so you have some on the right suggesting that, the can be kicked down the road even further, maybe to March 1st. But with that, you have House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries saying that option is off the table, saying that a deal will only be possible if Republicans come to the table in good faith, and saying we've indicated the types of bold and transformative changes that are necessary. The ball is now in the court of the Republicans. But as we've talked about in other videos, Republicans may drag their feet here because, ICE, they're still sitting on the big, beautiful Bill's gift of $75 billion. So that it could keep them afloat for the year. All while, though, you have the Republicans battling pressure from within their own party, coming straight from the top guy himself. With Trump's recent declaration that he wants to nationalize elections, it's thrown the party into absolute chaos as they try to spin the president's words into not an authoritarian attempt to exert control over the outcome of future elections. Because we talked about it yesterday. You had Trump calling into the Dan Bongino show where he claimed that Democrats are bringing in illegal immigrants so they can win elections. And then he made this call to Republicans.
The Republicans should say, we want to take over. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting.
But then, after that clip went viral, you had White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt trying to walk it back.
What the president was referring to is the SAVE Act, which is a huge common sense piece of legislation that Republicans have supported, that President Trump is committed to signing into law during his term. And he spoke with the speaker directly about that yesterday, about the need to get that bill on the floor for a vote, because it provides very common sense measures for voting in our country, such as voter ID. I don't think any rational person who's being honest with themselves would disagree with the idea of requiring citizens of the...
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure nobody's against voter ID, right? Or is there? Are the Dems against voter ID? I haven't seen anybody, talk shit about it.
this country to present an ID before casting a ballot in a federal election, or frankly in any election, and that's something the president wants to see happen. So that's what he was referring to.
Okay, so a few things to break down or really pick apart here. First of all, the SAVE Act that Levitt is talking about, it would require people to prove that they are U.S. citizens when they register to vote. It has literally nothing to do with federalizing elections. And Trump, I mean, you can double check for yourself if you want to do that to yourself. Fucking listen to Dan Bongino for an extended period of time. He never once mentioned that specific legislation during his interview with Bongino. Yes, he was throwing out.
Dog, can you please just, like, keep it moving? Now she's gonna lock in on me. I'm trying to go get that part. Okay. Now we just gotta be real sneaky about it. Let's go. Yeah, boy. Oh, no. No! Ooh. Dog. Okay, leave me alone real quick. Come on. Oh my goodness, come on! Come on. Yes, there we go. Okay, Jesus Christ, I don't know why it became so difficult to freaking scavenge for these damn things.
Claims about non-citizen voting, but he also said verbatim,
the Republicans ought to nationalize the voting.
We all heard it. And then after you had Levitt making those comments, you had Trump doubling down and literally repeating his call to nationalize elections during a press briefing at the Oval Office.
What exactly did you mean?
Who threw that shit? How come that one's not open? How come this one's not open? I got 9 minutes, bro. 9 freaking minutes. This is so not cool.
You said that you should nationalize elections. And which 15 states are you talking about?
I want to see elections be honest. And if a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it. Because, if you think about it, a state is an agent for the federal government in elections. I don't know why the federal government doesn't do them anyway.
With Trump then going on to repeat his false claims about the 2020 election being rigged and crooked, specifically mentioning Detroit, Pennsylvania, and Atlanta as places he said had horrible corruption, and adding,
and the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
So, it seems like the guy's making it pretty damn clear that he wants to nationalize at least some elections. A desire that apparently has nothing to do with the SAVE Act, because he also never mentioned it once during that briefing either. But then, even after Trump doubled down and clearly contradicted Levitt, we still saw some Republicans trying to spin those comments to make it sound less, like he's fully drunk the authoritarian Kool-Aid. So you had Senate Majority Leader John Thune reiterating the SAVE Act story after Trump.
If I don't make it, I'm gonna crash the fuck out.
Trump's briefing.
With respect to nationalizing elections, I think the president has clarified what he meant by that, and that is that he supports the SAVE Act.
But then also, you had Speaker Johnson just taking a complete
What? Americans want voter integrity. Why don't Democrats? What? What do you mean? I am loath to give credit to my friends in the Democratic Party for much, but I will say this about them. They know how to They know how and when to circle the wagons to get things done in Congress. That's true. The Democrats will keep you where they want for exactly how long they want, okay? Oh, man, nobody's around. Wait, what am I doing? I hate this when it's done in practice. Like, who is this? Senate majority? Eh. Okay, this isn't answering my question. Okay. Oh. There. Okay, this bill requires individuals to provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote in federal elections. That, I feel like nobody should have a problem with this, because this makes every bit of sense. Were we not doing this before? Oh. Okay. Net B S for ID. Oh. Proof. There we go. Pretty straightforward. What? Okay. I don't know. Whatever. I'm over this.
Different approach, just fully committing to Trump's story about the elections in blue states being rigged or fraudulent. Or Johnson specifically mentioning California and the recent Republican loss there.
I mean, they hold the elections open for weeks after Election Day. That's just one thing that bothers so many people. We had 3 House Republican candidates who were ahead on Election Day in the last election cycle. And every time...
Okay, let's drill down into the news today. That big change on immigration, 700 officers leaving Minneapolis. Did that come from you?
Yes, it did.
Wait a second, what?
Okay, let's drill down into the news today. That big change on immigration, 700 officers leaving Minneapolis. Did that come from you?
Yes, it did. But it didn't come from me because I just wanted to do it. We are waiting for them to release prisoners, give us the murderers that they're holding, and all of the bad people, drug dealers, all of the bad people. We allowed in our country, I'd say 25 million.
What the heck is this old geezer talking about? Dude, I feel like I'm not going to make this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We can do this. We can do this. I got 100 meters. It usually takes me like 2.5 minutes to cross 100 meters. Oh, I feel like it's going to be at... No! Ah, crap! No! Ah! Ah! I kept walking too fucking far, dude. Oh my god! Ah! I hate that fucking augment, dude. Fuck! I wasn't paying attention to the fucking health. I'm over this. Fuck this.